The Karnataka government is facing serious allegations with contractors in the state accusing ministers of demanding 40 to 50% bribes in granting government contracts for infrastructural projects. I'm Pooja Prasanna, and I'll tell you about a Lokayukta report which scrutinized government works done in just one constituency and laid out exactly how this corruption works. Based on a complaint filed by a Congress MP, D.K. Suresh, the Lokayukta conducted a probe in R.R. Nagar constituency in south and east of Bengaluru and found that there was misappropriation of funds in 114 works. Each of the works is valued at around 2 crore rupees. They found that misappropriation had taken place in maintenance and development of roads, drainage and even drilling of borewells. The MLA of this constituency is a BJP leader by the name Muniratna. The report found that of the 116 works that were carried out in R.R. Nagar in the fiscal year 2019-20, only 2 were carried out properly. The report said that the total loss to the exchequer because of this is 118.25 crores. The Lokayukta has classified 4 broad ways in which the corruption was carried out in R.R. Nagar. 1. Complete 20% but bill for 80%. In a majority of the 116 works that the Lokayukta scrutinized in the R.R. Nagar constituency, they found that 20 to 30% of the work was completed by the contractors, but they raised bills for at least 80% of the total amount, and the BBMP officials even cleared the complete amount. 2. No work executed at all. In the cases that we spoke of earlier, at least some part of the work had been completed by the contractors. But in 57 works that the Lokayukta scrutinized, the contractors had done absolutely no work on the ground but billed the BBMP for at least 80 to 100% of the total amount, and their bills were cleared by BBMP officials without any kind of scrutiny. 3. Use hollow bricks instead of concrete slabs. The Lokayukta found that in at least 23 of the works that they scrutinized, another way of producing fake bills is by using substandard quality of construction materials, but this could very well hamper the safety of citizens. One way of doing this is by using hollow bricks instead of concrete slabs in construction and maintenance of drains. What this does is bring down the cost of construction significantly, but this could pose very serious threat to safety of citizens who use the infrastructure. 4. Substandard work and excess measurements. The Lokayukta found that in many works conducted in R.R. Nagar, the contractors as well as the engineers used substandard work and materials which was not in accordance to the specifics as mentioned by the tender. Another thing they did was mentioned excess measurements in their measure books, which also meant that they can very easily misappropriate government funds. Now, in the middle of this scam is a contentious government agency called KRIDL. When the BBMP has to give government contracts to private contractors, they have to call for tenders which will be scrutinized. But when they give the same to KRIDL, which is a government agency, then no tender is required. Now, the KRIDL in turn can give the works to private contractors, and there will be no scrutiny and no need for tenders to be called, making it very easy for corruption to take place. Now, experts say that BBMP is technically allowed to give contracts to KRIDL only in cases of emergencies like floods. But officials at the BBMP have made it a practice to give any contract they wish to KRIDL without following due process. Now, this makes a huge issue of transparency and accountability. Experts also say that KRIDL does not have its own machinery or manpower, and by giving it to private contractors without tenders, this not just puts safety of citizens in great threat, but also increases the cost significantly. Now, this Lokayukta report that we've been speaking about was submitted to the government on January 24th, and over the next few days, the government had even accepted the report. But it's been several months since there has been no action taken against anybody and no money recovered. Now, we are talking about just one constituency in Bengaluru. Extrapolate this and you will get a full scale of the corruption that takes place in infrastructure projects across Bengaluru.